Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Absurd Arguments, a podcast where two friends talk about things in an argumentative fashion. My name is Matthew, and I'm here with my friend Nathan.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why you're talking like you're asking a question after every sentence.
Sorry, I've just been questioning everything recently, just because I've recently learned that we live in a matrix.
Oh,
And I'm just trying to, figure out if things are real or not, you know?
right. Yeah, that's really annoying. So if you could get your head on straight, that would be great.
Oh, I'm sorry?
I swear. If we still haven't lost anybody, thank you for sticking around. Um, my name is Nathan. This is Matthew. We are the host of Absurd Arguments, the podcast.
Indeed. Nathan, it is May. We have made it. Times are changing. We
Mm-hmm.
have it's something important is
Yep.
for me, I'm graduating from my grad school, and at the end of the month, you'll have high schoolers across America, across the world, graduating
Yeah.
from high school, and it's time to get serious. And we have to talk about the
Right.
workforce.
We are. And now, before we get into our real subject, because we're talking about the working man today,
Mm-hmm.
really tough jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get down to which is the best. But before that, there's a job that doesn't get the appreciation it deserves.
Yeah.
And you know what job that is?
Yours?
Film critic.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not even on the
Film
list of
critic.
jobs I would have thought of.
Yeah. See, I know it doesn't get the credit it deserves. So, but some people, the layman, for example, see, professional critics have such a hard time. They really do a good job of reviewing stuff, but now just anybody can write movie reviews. And
Mm.
uh, and so I wanted to tell you about this guy I found on Google.
Oh.
Um, I was looking up a movie, and the first review of this movie caught me off guard. There's this movie called Birth, starring Nicole Kidman. It came out in 2004. I've never seen
What?
it. I saw some random little clip about it. And so I was looking at reviews for the film. It's a weird psychological horror. I do not, or thriller. I don't necessarily recommend it, but the
Mm-hmm.
movie's called Birth. And this guy named Samuel, he has the number one review of it. Um, and and what he does is he reviews his own birth.
No.
So yeah, he
No.
yeah, he talked about, I guess he and his brother, he goes, baby Sam and baby Seth were equipped with an immune system optimized to fight foreign substances. And then at the end, at the end of this review, he gives the 5 little reasons I'm forever grateful for my parents.
Mm-hmm.
He's thankful they've been there for him, and for all their sacrifices, for all the little things you do, for loving
Mm-hmm.
him, and for teaching him how to love. All right. So keep in mind, this is for the movie Birth.
Yes.
And that is his review. Um, so I clicked on his name, and he actually has hundreds
Oh
of
no.
reviews of movies.
Oh
Hmm.
no.
And the Birth one was the most normal of all the
Oh
reviews, kind
no.
of. Yeah. Do you want to know what he gave the movie Ratatouille? That classic Pixar film?
Uh, out of 5 stars,
Yeah, out of 5 stars.
um, 2.
Oh, you're a good guesser. Yeah, it was 2 stars.
Let's go.
Um, yeah. He his review is really long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read some of the highlights.
Okay.
He starts off the review by talking about a friend of his who was always hungry at the sleepovers he would come to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the middle of the review is him doing a role play of what a bar fight sounds like.
What?
And then the last part of the review is him going over the benefits of the carnivore diet,
What?
which include weight loss, better glucose control, decreased inflammation, clear mind, mood improvement. Yeah.
Sorry, it's
Oh,
folks and Nathan. If I don't say anything, it's because it's stunned silence.
right. Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
just
I've
I
got.
don't know how to respond.
I. I have. There's a few more. Okay, I want to talk about.
Oh,
All right.
great.
Um, he did Jurassic Park. You know. Um, and so many of these reviews make absolutely no sense, and they're lengthy. So I'm not going to read them all, but I
Okay.
will read certain paragraphs. So this is for his review of Jurassic Park. All right, which
All right.
he did stay on topic, talking about raptors and stuff. He goes, the subordinate raptor who gender changes to a male attempts to lure the big one further away from her baby. He makes a series of mock charges and draws back with each one. When the female big one is further enough away, he rushes her head on. The big one trips on a log and falls to the ground. The subordinate turned rival advances towards the helpless raptor chicks. That's the end of the review.
No. That's it?
That's it. He gave it 5 stars though. um he there's a parody movie of Jurassic Park called Speckles the Tarbosaurus,
Oh,
and he reviewed
okay.
that. And it's an extremely long review,
Mm-hmm.
but
I would expect nothing less.
all he does is he makes a fan fiction where characters from Jurassic World, like Owen and his 4 velociraptors,
Mm-hmm.
are fighting the Hashira, the demon slayers from the anime Demon Slayer.
Uh, uh, um, it's folks. I'm
There's
having a
no
hard
comment
time.
made.
I'm having a hard time trying to figure out, since this is an audio format. I'm having a hard time trying to say something, but I just can't because of how just bizarre this
It's
guy's
so
reviews
dumb.
are.
Here's one of my another favorite of mine. You know the Pixar movie Brave
Yep.
with Merida. You know
Mm-hmm.
that
Merida.
one. Where's it? Yeah, it's like set in Scotland or whatever.
It's set in
Keep in mind it's,
Scotland.
keep in
Oi,
mind,
it's set in
folks.
Scotland over there, you know.
Keep in mind it's set in Scotland. All
Uh
right.
huh.
He Samuel opens his review with a quote. He goes, "Conquering the world on horseback is easy. It is dismounting and governing that is hard. Genghis Khan."
Oh my gosh.
He also, in that same paragraph, goes, here's another quote by Genghis Khan. In 1206, one chieftain, Temujin, united the myriad nomadic tribes of the Mongolian plains and was duly named universal ruler.
Great.
That's what I
Great.
think of with Brave.
You think of Genghis Khan. None of that had to do.
I know. I'll end with this. I'll end with this one, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
This I'll say more about this one, but this one is for the Amazing Spider-Man. You know that movie with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
Uh huh.
Okay. I'll read a bit more of this one. I'll read it all. Okay. Queens, New York. It's the law of the concrete jungle, in which only the strongest can survival. They say that battle changes you. It makes you stronger, more ferocious, a monster in the night, watching, learning, hunting. Each time I enter the PI, I emerge reborn, Put the devil on the other side, and I will show up, evolved, adapted, and prepared to fight. Lesson number 1. Those who have the ability to do good are morally obligated to help others. This is this movie's version of the classic, with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man mantra. That's it.
Oh my gosh. That's it. That's the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He
You
quotes some
just
lyrics from something, but I'm not going to read that because it's repetitive.
and then
So I did cut something out. I mean, I could read it now if you wish me to.
yeah, go ahead.
Just one more time before I go, I'll let you know. Just one more time before I go, I'll let you know that all this time I've been afraid. Wouldn't let it show. Nobody can save me now. No, nobody can save me now. Lesson number 1. Those who have the ability to do good are morally
What?
obligated to help others.
This guy is
I've you like you've seen people like purposely trolling,
yeah.
online, and
Yep.
it has a certain vibe to it, where it's like I'm in on it. I know I'm joking with you, but like
hmm
these have just a certain earnestness about them.
It's hard to
I
tell if it's real or
it's
fake.
yeah, I because it's so good. It's so good if it's fake,
Yep.
because they're so unhinged, every single one.
I just wow. Um I wish that I had written some of my
So
papers in this way so that
just
I
totally
would
random.
yeah, it would just the professors would be so stunned that they couldn't
Yeah.
actually give me a grade and maybe the grading software would have just automatically put 100.
All right. They'd be like, nothing has ever been written like this.
And then they
um,
find that one guy.
Samuel's like, finally, a disciple. I will teach you my ways. Yeah, you'd be writing a paper. Your topic is somebody like Richard Nixon, and
Yep.
and you're just like, let me begin with this quote by Genghis Khan. It really has nothing to do with Richard Nixon at the moment.
If anything, I would be like Richard Nixon and it would be something from like I don't know, Johann Sebastian Bach or Beethoven.
Yeah, that's even
Just
better.
like
Right.
something that has absolutely nothing. Like at least Genghis Khan was a leader, but like someone who is unrelated, different time, different everything.
Right.
That's exactly
Something
how
like,
that would go.
music is the gateway to the soul or something like that. And then it's like,
Yep.
yeah, this is the start of my paper on Richard Nixon.
Yep. Beethoven once
Oh, and then
said, what did you say?
music is the gateway to the soul.
No, that was oh, never mind.
Oh, and then
That was
like
a joke.
halfway through,
That was a joke, Nathan. I said Beethoven once said, "What did you say?"
yeah,
Because he was
music
no, he was
is the.
deaf.
Yeah, not as funny as Samuel to me. Sorry.
Yeah.
You'll
Well,
get
anyways, thank
But
you,
anyway, I wanted to I
Samuel.
just wanted to bring that up because of just how hard it is to be a good critic and say stuff about movies. We take it for granted because what if every review was just like Samuel's? You know?
It would be awful. Nothing would ever make sense.
It would be a beautiful world. I'd be so happy.
No, it would be terrible.
Uh,
Who are the famous movie reviewers?
like Roger Ebert, Siskel and Ebert, they were a duo.
Yeah,
Um, there's others, but when
just
you think of
just
movie
imagine.
reviewers, you usually think of them.
Yeah, just imagine those guys. Top of the game. Like they even had TV shows that they would talk about movies on. Just
Yeah,
imagine every single episode being as unfollowable as every single Samuel movie review.
it'd be great.
You'd be off.
Imagine them talking about Schindler's List, and then halfway through the review, there's like random lyrics like "Wake me up before you go go." You know,
Wake me up inside. I can't wake up. Wake me up inside. Save me. Save me from this
right?
nothing that I've become.
And then
Anyways, Creed 2 was all right.
benefits of the Atkins diet. Oh
In other
gosh.
words, I really enjoyed Alien versus Predator as an action movie. Folks,
Just
if
they're
you're
great.
listening to this episode and you decide to give us a rating, please rate us in the same way that Samuel, or a review. Please review us in the same way that Samuel does, so that everyone
Right.
watching or listening to this is just, they see, I was so confused by this review and I just had to
Hmm.
figure out what in the world they were talking about. And like nothing in your review are things we actually talked about.
Yeah, it'd be great. Remember, part one, share a quote that has nothing to do with the thing.
Yep.
Part two, insert some weird lyrics in there. And then part three, make up a fun story about a bar fight or whatever. It'd
Yep.
be great.
Yep. And then finish it off with, so my first thought is, and then you give your first thought, and then you end your review. It's
Exactly. Yeah,
beautiful. Um,
it's an art.
that went places I was not expecting to go. Blue collar
Right.
workers.
Yeah, that's who we're really talking about today. That's our main theme. Um, we're gonna talk about that and explore it. But I guess before we do that, we have to cue the music.
Alrighty, so we've got
Mm-hmm.
3 questions that we are going to answer. And these
Right.
3 questions are the most important questions ever. Just a quick note, while I was in college, there was one semester I took 4 classes, and 3 of my professors said, "This is the most important class you'll take all semester." And I was like, what about the other 2
Oh, all
classes where
four
my
were the
professor
most
said
important.
that? Yeah. This is the most important podcast you will ever listen to. This one is a
Whoa.
shout out to the boys and the ladies who just do the work no one else wants to do. And this is our hard
Right.
hats off to them as our kind of as our way of saying thank you for all your work. Um, if you are a blue collar worker, please stop listening to this episode at this moment because you will probably get very mad at the way we describe what you do.
Yeah. Hey, and look, we're gonna, each of us have to take a side. This is how the podcast works. So
Right.
I may say things about whatever Matthew's talking about. It's not because I have anything against you. It's because I have many things against Matthew. And I must
True.
disagree with
Indeed. I mean, what is this? Absurd agreements?
him. What if a show like that existed?
It would be
Ridiculous.
it'd be the dumbest thing ever.
It would be so dumb.
I agree.
Yeah, they
All
would be
right,
so
so
stupid.
our first topic is going to be something that you will deal with on a daily basis. And it is, who is greater, an electrician or a plumber? Because
Mm,
let's be honest. You probably sleep with a fan on, or your AC's running, or in the winter your heater is going, so you need electricity for that. And then you wake up in the middle of the night, and the dinner you had was just not super well done, and you've got to just take a midnight poop. And guess what?
yeah,
Your plumbing is going to work. But then one of those breaks and you've got to call an expert. Who are you going to
yeah.
call? You're going to call electricians or plumbers, but there can only be one. there can only be one winner in this
Right.
thunderdome of electricians and plumbers.
Yeah, classic versus match right here.
Yep.
We've all seen, plumbers and electricians get at it. So we're just
Mhm.
gonna explore that today.
Yep. So I have sided with the mighty electricians, and Nathan, you have
Uh-huh.
sided with the mighty plumbers. And so
Yep.
I've been pretty busy. Nathan and I were talking before we started recording about possible plans, and I had forgotten I had planned other things. So I've been pretty busy. So I went to the number one website to get all the information I need. And
Yeah,
I went to Bing because I didn't feel like going to Google.
that's fair.
And Bing has led me to some interesting things. The first website is, I don't even know if I could pronounce this, but I think it's bizinsure.com.
Okay.
Sorry, I know you said the questioning thing was getting on your nerves, but that was a legitimate question.
That
I have
one,
no idea how to pronounce
yeah, I
that.
mean, that one, well, and you're asking someone who can't see what you're referencing right now. So
Yeah,
sure, we'll
sure.
go with that. Isn't sure.
Right, Byzantium. It's like the Byzantine Empire, but they got into insurance. Um, wow, that was a very lame joke. 5 reasons to become an electrician from October 10th, 2022. Number 1, solid job prospects. I mean,
Hmm.
there is a 7% job growth um, prediction between 2021 and 2031, which is about the same as all of
Yeah.
other occupations in the country.
Hmm.
But just because it's the same doesn't mean everyone's qualified to be an electrician. No, there's going to be 50,000 new electrician jobs, which means more people are using electricity, and it's very important. Number 2, great
Yeah.
salary expectations. You make a lot of money. I don't like numbers, so I'm going to move past that. Just kidding. Uh, Electricians in the field of natural gas distribution, for example, make an average salary of $104,920, according
Dude,
to BLS.gov.
we should be electricians, dude.
Nathan, I don't mean to be mean,
Yeah.
but I'm really far behind on my electrician know-how. And have you ever done anything with electricity other than use it?
Um uh I mean, I'll use electric Pokemon in Pokemon games,
Well,
you
I
know?
used to help my grandfather put up electric wiring and things like that. So I at least know how to run wire and things like that, while you're over here being a freaking nerd.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So you have zero job prospects and not 50,000. Number
Oh,
3, high
yeah.
job satisfaction.
Really?
I guess a 2022 survey found that 77% of U.S. electricians are happy with their jobs.
Oh, that's
Do
pretty
you like your
nice.
job, Nathan?
I love it.
Would you have a
But if
77% satisfaction rate?
I mean, if I was making over 100K, I would very, very much have a very high satisfaction rate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 4, you earn while you train. You don't have to have
Mm.
a degree to become an electrician. You can get your training with just a high school diploma or GED. And as you're an
Oh,
apprentice, you're already working and getting hands on training at the same time. It's,
nice.
it's pretty impressive. And then number 5, you help build more sustainable future because
Hmm.
green revolution garbage. I mean, the future is good.
Yeah. you could make a killing getting into some of that green stuff, depending on the area. It's installing solar panels left and right. That'd be pretty
Selling
great.
marijuana in Oklahoma.
What?
It's the green stuff.
the spirit, the spirit of Samuel is upon us. um, yeah, you make some good points. You know, there's some really cool opportunities. I mean, I think the hard part would be just finding a good apprenticeship. You know, and
Yeah.
then isn't it with electricians you can like what is that, a journeyman or whatever?
I don't know.
Don't they have that?
All I did was look at one website, dude.
Yeah, like uh, there's like a journeyman and master electrician. You know, there's two different types.
Oh, snap. There actually is. What?
Uh huh.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
So
Shoot.
I
You're
think
helping me with
journeyman.
my own argument.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was thinking about it. I was surprised they didn't mention that, but I think what is it? Journeyman is like regular, and then master electrician is the elite, or I don't know.
Well, it's the highest level of electrician for a master. And then
Yeah.
a journeyman is a professional tradesperson. Excuse me, in the second stage of, oh my
Oh,
gosh, I'm using Google. I am sorry. I am so
it's cool.
sorry.
I'm on Bing. I found one. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's the difference is the level of training they require.
Mm, cool.
Yeah,
Anyways,
interesting.
whatever you tell me is not going to be adequate because you've already proven my point.
That's fine. For my research, I'm going to be using personal stories and going off of vibes. You know.
Uh huh.
Um, let's see, plumbers. I mean, look, you could still make a good killing as a plumber, and apparently there's journeyman plumbers too. Um,
Ooh.
I want to tell you of this one springtime. All right, me in high school
Mm hmm.
at my grandparents' house.
Mm
All
hmm.
right, they lived in an old double wide, and they were having pipe issues. Okay, and so
Same.
my dad took me and my best friend at the time to go check it out. All right.
Mm
So
hmm.
me and my siblings were there too. And so we went to go check out the issues with their house and just to help clean up outside, do that sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um well, um one of their pipes had come loose um and under the house,
Mm hmm.
and it had just spewed uh stuff and toilet paper. And I know this is really gross, but me and my best friend, we crawled under there to fix this pipe, to put it together, you know, and it smelled awful.
Mm hmm.
But here's why plumbing gets the edge for me
Uh
above
huh.
being an electrician is the jokes you can say while doing it, you know? Like I could look at my best friend and I go, ah man, this job stinks, you know? Or
Yeah.
oh my gosh, what a crappy pipe this is.
Yep.
You know, it was endless. You know, the jokes, they just kept coming and coming. This is the number two worst thing I've had to do today. Just it was an endless well of entertainment for us teenagers,
Mm
and
hmm.
I know that if we talk to plumbers right now, they would be like, yeah, nah, we don't do that. We don't really joke around like that. But I think secretly they'd be like, oh crap, they're on to us. They know.
Mm.
I would be making jokes like that all the time.
But, I mean, plumbers don't just deal in toiletries.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
also
yeah. Sure.
they also deal with like, sink drains and oh, my dishwasher's
Yeah.
broken.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, Still, you can come up with tons of puns about those things too. You know?
I mean, you can do that with an electrician.
Like, uh, I don't, okay, come up with one.
All right. Wow, I make a shocking amount of money every year.
I told myself I wouldn't laugh, but I'm so susceptible to stupid work-related puns. It's my weakness. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Thank you.
Hey, see, here's one. If a plumber's
Okay.
fixing a sink, he can look at his client and go, "Your wallet is going to be circling the drain, just like the water flowing into the sink.
Too many
All
words.
your money,
Too
all,
many
all of your
words.
money is coming to me." It's
Not
plumbers
not
are
good.
wordy people. Yeah. Also, what's the classic? Look, electricians. If I try to envision an electrician right now,
Uh-huh.
I would just, like, no offense to electricians, I would just imagine a guy. Okay. But
Mhm.
Matthew, when you would imagine a plumber,
Yeah.
two things come to mind, right?
Okay.
What? Surely you can guess. What is one of the first images that comes to mind?
Um
Classic plumber stereotype.
classic plumber stereotype.
Uh-huh.
Um what can I say on a semi-family friendly podcast?
Their butt cracks are shown. You know?
Yeah.
Classic. Just classic. You
Yeah.
know? It's just and that would make me laugh too. Um not
I have
around
the
them though.
very opposite reaction. I would immediately just go look at literally anything else and go, all right, I hate this.
Well, I mean, I'm not staring it down, Matthew, just so you know.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. It just, you see it and you look away, you giggle to yourself. That's it.
Oh man, I didn't know there was a
Okay.
crack in the pipe too.
Shut up. All right, all right. Now, what is the most famous plumber of all time? The other thing you think about with plumbers. Think of the
um,
representation in media
the
that plumbers have.
representation in media.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Wario and Waluigi.
You jerk. It's Mario and his brother Luigi. They're plumbers.
Just a quick question. Do Wario and Waluigi have canonical jobs?
They're probably electricians. It explains the feud between these four men.
Fair, fair.
Hey, when I think electricity, I think yellow or purple. That's what
Yeah,
Wario and Waluigi wear.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know who else who wears yellow?
Hmm.
Construction workers.
Ah. Yeah. I guess so. I guess with our battle, we're kind of even. Uh. So I guess that leads us to our next one.
Mm,
All right. Which is better, construction workers or mechanics?
indeed.
Now this is a tough one too. Tough jobs. Tough jobs.
They are tough jobs because, again, construction with a mechanic, you've got to have the know-how. But with construction,
Right.
you have a lot of you got OSHA to deal with, and you have to deal with all these standards and things like that. So it can be a very, very stressful thing to make sure you're creating a building that's going to be safe and follows all the guidelines set by OSHA. So they're both very, technical in their own rights.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Yep. But Nathan, I went
Hmm.
first last time. So please,
Okay.
what is your position and why is it better?
Oh, I mean, I think mechanics are cool. Um,
Great,
you know,
I guess.
I think they're the best.
That's super good.
No, yeah. So growing up, I mean, got a love hate relationship with them. I mean, mechanics work on your car, and that's great. Uh, but my dad, um,
My
he
dad.
he likes doing mechanic type stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably gets it from his dad. My grandpa, my in World War II, my grandpa was a tank mechanic,
Ooh.
and
Ooh.
so he worked on tanks, and then he worked at the Aberdeen Proving Ground, I think,
Mm-hmm.
in Maryland, and I think he actually worked on like the Sherman tank right when they were developing it. I mean, no,
Oh
Abrams,
snap.
the Abrams tank.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I was about to
Yeah.
say your dad's
So
really old, or your grandfather's
no,
really
no, no.
old.
My grand. Yeah, I mean he was old. Uh, but anyway, I remember my dad tells me this story. I was a little kid, and I remember, um, you know, asking my dad. I was like, "Wow, what's it like working on tanks?" And he's like, "Well, ask your grandpa." And my grandpa, I go to him and I go, what's it like working on tanks?"
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes, "It's rough." And little kid me's like, okay.
Great.
He was a man of very few words,
Indeed.
or caring, but he also had his own little business where he would fix car transmissions. He
Mm-hmm.
he would actually like fix the transmission and take it apart himself,
Ugh.
uh, and then put it back together and put it in the back in the car.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
yeah. So he was really, really A plus mechanic. My dad maybe a little less so. I mean, he knows a lot more than like maybe the average guy. But he also knows quick, hey, when do I need to take it to a real mechanic? You know.
Uh-huh.
But but for smaller things, my dad and I, my dad would have me help him out. But but he would always make friends with mechanic type people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I had issues with one of the belts in my car, um, and I was feeling really down about it. Anytime I have car trouble,
Yep.
but my dad's like, "Me and my friend are going to help you," and so they took me to an AutoZone, and they're like, "Okay, go in there and make sure you ask for the belt you need. Tell them your make and model and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and make sure." This is very important, Nathan. Make sure you ask for a belt stretcher. And so, me, an idiot when it comes to the way of cars, just went in and was like, "Yeah, I need this belt and a belt stretcher." And all the AutoZone people got a good laugh at it because there's no such thing as a belt stretcher, nephew.
Nathan, it's like walking into an O'Reilly and asking for blinker fluid.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
But
I
the
was so
people at
desperate for
O'Reilly
help.
would probably assume that that's an actual thing because the people at O'Reilly don't know cars very well.
Good point. Oh, no, we're supposed to just talk about these jobs, not which is better,
Oh,
AutoZone or
you're
O'Reilly's.
right. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm just
That was
saying, all
that was a
right.
Spirit of Samuel moment right there.
It was the spirit of Sam. Everybody's taking a hit. um. So yeah. Uh. So yeah. Me personally, I don't like working on car stuff. I think it's just some of it's just so dang complicated,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so many intricate features. So that's why I think being a mechanic is such a good job. And it's hard because there's a lot of good mechanics and bad mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like being a good one, like having a great reputation, I
Yep.
mean, you're like the most beautiful girl at the ball, Like everybody wants to dance with you.
Yep. Well, Nathan,
Yeah.
I have one word to debunk your entire argument.
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
use YouTube to fix anything. You can,
I
because
don't know about that.
there is some dude, by the way, please don't take any advice we ever say on this podcast. There is some guy who is out there who's just like, you know what? I'm going to make this YouTube video because this was something I struggled with. And then he made it and he's got, hundreds of thousands of hits and it's the most helpful auto mechanic thing. So there's no need for an auto mechanic.
Hey, well,
There
see
is.
here.
Hmm,
Here's where you're wrong. Okay.
okay.
Like I will half confirm what you said and half deny it because last year I the my right rear headlight fell off, like
Mm-hmm.
just fell off my car, and I had to get it replaced. I had to buy a whole new back bumper to replace it.
Oh,
Um,
wait,
and
really?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I thought I showed
gosh.
you pictures of this. Did I
Uh,
not?
no, I don't think so. I think you just showed me, oh, I got new headlights. I didn't
Yeah.
realize you replaced
No.
the entire bumper.
Yeah, I had to take off. Well, it's not like the bumper per se, it's like the whole license plate holder with the headlights and stuff, like right connecting to the trunk, you know?
So pretty much you replaced everything on the back of your car except for the trunk, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Gosh.
pretty much. Like, yeah. Um, Now, okay, sure. I looked on YouTube. I found a video and I even found the part online I needed, bought it myself, and it came out cheaper, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I also had to buy myself some tools and I had to
Mm-hmm.
buy the part and I had to wait for it to come in, you
Mm-hmm.
know? If I had just gone to the mechanic, they would have had quicker access to that. It would have
Mm.
been done way faster. They already have all the tools and stuff. Um, with mechanics, I mean, theoretically, you can fix any part on your car. All right. If you have the
Mm-hmm.
right amount of tools and the right amount of time and the right amount of know-how. But with mechanics, they already have that themselves. And like
Yeah.
rich people like to tell us, time is money, Matthew. You know?
Mm.
So take it to the mechanic. They're the experts.
But you can do it by yourself.
Okay, but it'll take a long time.
But here's the thing, Nathan. When it comes to using YouTube for things, there are some things you can't use YouTube for, and that is pretty much construction work. You can't use that. Now, I have again gone to Bing and I looked up
Hmm.
what are the top reasons to be a construction worker, and constructionready.com has these reasons. Number 1, it also pays well. Plumbers earn a median salary of $56,330.
Yeah.
But let me just say, the median pay for US electricians is 56,900 per year. We're not even
Right.
talking about them. And construction ready is already just like, oh yeah, definitely be an electrician. Don't be a plumber. Um, I mean, honestly, like construction professions are very many. You've got carpenters, heavy equipment operators, plumbers, drywall installers, electricians, roofers, HVAC technicians. I mean, all the stuff. Wait a second.
Yeah.
This list has drywall installers twice.
No. A profession
It
so
has
nice it must be mentioned twice.
exactly. It's got it as number 3 and number 10. So
Ah, sick.
it's the third and 10th best construction job.
It's like he did the list and was like, yeah, no, actually, it's kind of the worst of all of these, and forgot to take it out of the third spot.
Yeah. Being a construction worker has great benefits, obviously health, dental, life insurance, because I mean an accident might happen on the job, and disability insurance as well, because again, things happen.
Right.
You get paid time off, vacation days, and sick time. So there's
Hmm.
good. There is advancement potential. You're not going to be on the bottom of the totem pole for long. You can go up into you climb the corporate ladders, so to speak, in construction work. And there is a high demand for workers. I mean,
And it's true.
there's always there's always something being built. There's always
I
a
don't know, but
Chick-fil-A that needs to be built. There's a road that needs to be redone. There's a house that has to be built incorrectly but quickly. I mean, lots of different things. Um,
yeah,
Again, the
yeah,
variety
but
of roles, we've talked about that. Yeah, what's up?
like the off season. Sometimes there's really slow seasons though. You
Uh-huh.
know, like if it's rainy a lot, you don't get a ton of work. You know, they take breaks sometimes when it's raining.
Yeah,
Like
but
you've seen it, right?
if you're doing specialized work on the inside of a constructed, frame of a building, there are no days off. except the ones that you've
Well,
been assigned.
yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. Hmm.
Trust me, dude. I actually have worked. I worked in maintenance for a season, and it was pouring rain, and we had to move furniture from one office to another in the rain. And let me tell you, that was not fun.
Yeah, that's awful. That sucks.
Yep. Um, this one is an interesting thing that construction ready gives. It says lateral movement. By lateral
Hmm.
movement, we mean changing roles within the construction position. For
Oh,
example,
not going up a ladder roll. Not going up
not
a ladder.
not lateral movement, but lateral movement.
Oh,
Um,
no. Okay.
yes, yes. For example, you might do a lot of electrical work and realize you're also interested in HVAC, which is great for you because you likely have a lot of exposure to HVAC work through your work as an electrician. You can draw on those
Hmm.
skills to move to the HVAC role. So if that's the move you want to make. And so construction is just so broad. You can be doing one job and think, actually, I enjoy doing this more. And then you can, because there's so, there's such a high demand, you could literally just say, hey, actually, I want to change my profession and do something different for a change and just do it because there's always a job available.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then the most important reason is number 7. Women considering construction should know there is almost no pay gap at all. In construction jobs, women earned 99.1% of what men earn. Should the figure be 100%? Of course it should. But when you consider, I just love that they added that
Yeah.
sentence. It's beautiful. But when
I
you
thought you said it
consider
yourself.
no, that is actually in there. You can look it up. It says it's the very next paragraph. Should that figure be 100%? Of course it should. But when you consider that women in the US earn only 84% of what men earn on average, that 99.1 figure looks a lot more compelling. Am I right, ladies, or am I right? I added that last
You're right.
sentence. Women entering the construction field should know that their presence and their work is valued just as much as their male
Mm.
counterparts.
Hey, somebody's gotta build the kitchen in the house. Am I right?
Hey, that's
Hey,
sexism.
hey, I'm from the 1950s.
Hey, you better watch out there, buddy. You're gonna catch some strays if you know what I mean. The missus is going a little crazy this month.
All right. You know how she is.
it's
Always
it's
getting on to me for going to the bars.
hanging out with the boys too long after. And
Right.
she's always on my tail like, Harold, you're always out so late with the boys. And I'm like, yeah, get off my back, woman.
And
I'm the
then
one that
Sunday I
carries
sit
this
down
I'm the one that carries this family. I don't need something else to carry when I'm home trying to take a rest.
and and as soon as I sit down for the game, she's like, the baby's room needs painting. I'm like, not now, you old hag. That's
I
what I
just
call
switched
her.
from
I love her.
electrician to HVAC. I can't go to painting now. What am I, a jack of all trades? No.
A painter?
What do I look like, Da Vinci?
I'm watching the game. I like this guy. I'd hate to be married to him if I was a woman, but I like him.
Anyways, the rest of them, I guess number 10 is important. Number 8, number 9 aren't that important. There's no college debt, it's fully funded training available. Anyone can work construction. And then finally,
Yeah.
number 10,
Hello? Matthew. Matthew?
and
Hello?
people use every day.
Hey, Matthew.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Matthew.
What?
Oh, okay. I don't know whatever you just said, but
Hmm.
as soon as you said, and then finally, number 10, complete and total silence.
That's beautiful. Um, it's personal satisfaction. It's a
Oh,
real project that you built something real and you finish working on a project. There's a whole building you can see, show your family, and watch people every day. Hey, Martha, you want to come down to 6th Street and check out that gas station I built? It'll be great. We'll use it every week.
oh, I like that. That's awe-inspiring, inspirational.
Indeed. Indeed. So that's why construction is far superior.
I don't know. It just seems I don't know. It in some ways it just seems like harder work than being a mechanic, you know? Like harder
No,
manual labor, I should say. I'd rather be in the shop.
dude, there's a difference between generalized labor and specialized labor. Like, if you're doing just like general construction work, I mean, it's not that hard. You just gotta, go in, get your job done, do what you've been trained to do, and then move back. But specialized labor, especially mechanics, have you seen those videos of just like, there's a Reddit page called Just Rolled in the Shop, and it's all like the worst possible scenarios, constantly
Okay,
being
yeah.
shown. Like, as a mechanic, that would just, I I don't know what I would be able to do, because it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? As a construction man, I need this to work, make it work. Boom, I can do that because I'm
Well, I
building
mean,
everything from scratch.
at least with the mechanics they can YouTube it if they need some help.
don't, don't don't say a joke when I take a drink of water.
Sorry.
Ah.
Actually we say that and we're probably going to get some of the mechanics sweating going, "Oh crud, they know."
I
Anytime I
mean,
get stuck, I'm on my YouTube.
that brings up our last point: is you should either hire someone to do the work or do it yourself. And I say, I've already made this argument, and I'll do it again. YouTube exists. DIY network is a whole TV channel of figuring out how to do things yourself. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
someone to come in and just like, oh, I'm a professional. Yeah, well, I got freaking YouTube and Google. I can do anything if I have enough brain power. Like,
I
obviously.
can do I can do all things through Google who tells me what to do.
Why don't you put that on your eye black Tim Tebow?
uh, you know what? I already said this earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Time is money. If I'm wasting time doing a thing that I'm not good at, and I'm wasting time, which means I'm wasting money for the grind. So if
Mm,
I outsource the jobs I can't do myself to
mm,
professionals, I'm saving money in the long run because I'm able to rise and grind.
mm. Now, Nathan,
No,
here's a
for real
question
though.
for
That's
you.
it's a rich people mindset. What's
Indeed.
what?
What if you're an electrician and you
Yeah,
have an electricity problem in your house?
then Matthew, guess what? You're
What?
still using the expert, so I win.
No.
This isn't some weird. You haven't caught me in some catch 22. All you have done is ruin it for yourself because it's like, oh man, I need an expert. Oh, it's me. Boom.
Yeah. So you're doing it yourself.
No, you've gotten an expert, and that expert in that moment is you.
Yeah. And you are
That one makes
literally
sense.
doing it yourself.
Yeah, but you're an expert. Bro,
Yes.
this
But
seems like one of those
you
classic.
are you.
this is like. This is one of those classic, like, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Are you the expert first or are you the you first? Which in that situation?
Are you yourself or the expert?
Exactly. That means you've gotten the best person for the job.
Ah, well, there's a YouTube channel who plays a lot of sports games, and his channel name is not the expert, but
Hmm.
he's done a lot of in-depth stuff in one of the old NCAA college football games. So he might be an expert in that, but he's already said he's not the expert.
Well, then he's not the expert. Wait, what? He's playing video games. This is nothing like blue collar work.
But what if someone named their company not the expert plumbing and they're the best plumbers in town?
Um, it'd be a funny oxymoron, and I would leave it at that.
This whole argument
I
has
go,
been an
haha,
oxymoron.
you're you're an oxymoron. You know, I almost said your mom is the oxymoron, and I was like, that's not true.
Wow.
She's a nice lady. I shouldn't be mean.
Wow. I
Yeah,
can't
I
believe
almost
this.
went there. I'm sorry.
We took you into our home for Thanksgiving.
I remember that. I remember that. It was really funny. I mean, it was a fun time. It
It
was a
was
great
great.
time.
It was great.
Oh.
Anyways, well, I think we've said our piece. I think we can both come to disagreement because we can't
Uh-huh.
agree.
This was a successful episode, I'd say. I'd say
I
we argued pretty well.
indeed. If you're a blue collar listener or you're near a blue collar listener, you can now turn the podcast back on and finish the episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're done talking about you.
Yeah. I don't know. Or listen to it and comment and say, hey, wow, you actually got some things right. Or I feel, ooh, here's the classic phrase nowadays you see from people.
Uh
I
huh.
feel seen. I feel seen. You know, hey, blue collar
Mm-hmm.
people, we see you. Don't know what that means. Don't know if it matters, but you're seen, just so you
Mm,
know.
yes, indeed. Well, now that we've seen you, you can now listen to our transition music because we're about to cue the music. Sorry, I'm trying to. I'm trying not to scream in the mic and just blow your ears out. So I'm doing it away. But I guess the farther away
But
I
I've told you,
go,
yeah, it doesn't pick up. Like, I mean, I told you before, I can barely pick up your laughs.
so I hear all of your. I guess it's just because it's too ferocious.
Maybe that's it.
Mm.
Too
I should
terrifying.
just
I just have
start
to assume.
laughing right up against the microphone.
Oh, no, stop.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, gross. Oh,
Anyways,
gosh.
oh, welcome back. I don't know how long you've been there, but we've got social media and stuff. Yep,
Mm-hmm. We do.
Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube.
Right.
Um, and then we also have an email. Nathan, would you like to tell them our email?
Sure. Our email is absurdarguments for you. That's the letter 4, the number U, at gmail.com.
Mm, mm, mm. Now, Nathan, I have
Mm-hmm.
some important news to tell you that we did not talk about before the podcast.
Okay.
Um, the thing is,
Yeah. Hello? Matthew?
no longer be able to continue on.
What?
What?
What did you say?
I did you not hear me?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
I just poured my heart out to you, and
Yeah.
you're just it didn't record. It didn't go through.
No. I mean, no, I didn't hear anything.
Dadgummit. Well, um, the thing is, I was just, it was a really heartfelt way to say that we're going to end the episode, and now it's just kind of ruined. So,
Oh. Oh.
yeah, I I don't know what I'm going to do now.
We could just end the episode.
Maybe we should. Thank you so much for listening to Absurd Arguments, and we will see y'all in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.